I have to tell you, as this is my 7th budget that I have delivered as county executive, is by far our best one we ever delivered. So I'm hoping to make the legislature's life very boring during the budget process. You know, because again, we kind of wrapped it up nicely for you to say, here you go, but there's not much there because, again, we're not raising taxes for the 6th year in a row. We will not be raising taxes again, so I'd like to say that. Our budget's going to be roughly $711 million, 145, or 711, 145. So, I mean, think about it. We're up a little bit, $32 million from last year, and I'm going to talk to you why that has happened. But on the happier news, on a homeowner that has a house worth $150,000, that $150,000 house value will go down. They'll save a couple dollars like they did last year. Again, working for the people that put us in office. Their values, because the property value has gone so well here in the capital region, but especially here in Albany County, that it's really going to offset a lot of other things. But average homeowner, again, at a $150,000 house, will see a decrease in their taxes. And I take pride we're under the top 10 lowest taxes in the state of New York. Doesn't mean we can roll up our sleeves, doesn't mean we can raise taxes. It just means we need to continue to work for the people that put us in office, the people that entrust us with the finances of this county. But we deliver so many good services. But one thing I do take pride in is our fund balance. Our fund balance has doubled since I've been in office. It's at over $60 million as we stand today. I have not touched the fund balance in 7 years. I live like we don't have it. But again, being fiscally sound in doing things that make our budget work, that has had the opportunity to grow. And for the legislatures that were here in 2008, 2009, when we ran into difficult times because of the recession, our fund balance went down to nothing. So I do take a lot of pride in that, and it's something that has worked for us, because for the 3rd consecutive year, the Albany County has improved its rating in the state controller's report on fiscal stress, basically saying we have no fiscal stress. For the first time, we have invested our money in the county, and we're making, a plan that we put forth to the legislature. You approved it. So now with that approval, we have been investing our money and making money. That hasn't happened, folks, I can tell you, probably in the last 20 years. So it's a step in the right direction. But 80% of our budget is mandated. And that 80%, probably in the mid-60s, high 60s, is unfunded. We have 2 new mandated programs, but they're going to be funded. One of which is Raise the Age. We'll be adding 21 positions to the budget at a tune of $8 million. And statewide implementation of the Indigent Legal Service Reform is adding 12 positions for $1.75 million. So yes, it is an uptick, and that's where you see the increase of our budget. Last year was roughly $689 million. We're going up to 711 because healthcare goes up, insurance goes up, nothing goes down. We've amortized in the past for our state retirement, and we've actually paid off over $10 to $11 million on that. We've lowered that. So we have been going in the right direction. But again, working with my commissioners and deputy commissioners and the workers of Albany County, I can't thank you enough. And our budget department, Sean Fallon and his team, and Phil Calderon and Chris Quinn and George Penn and my whole office, that we have not, at one day, have not taken a rest from this budget. And I was laughing because I was talking to a legislator last night. I'm like, I'm still doing the budget. We're still fixing things and changing numbers and doing different things, but for a good way. The other thing we should take a lot of pride in is the initiative that we started in the legislature, the land bank. So the land bank, we've given a tune of $2.25 million since its creation. On top of that, we're giving another check this year for $250,000 that's in the budget to keep the land bank going. On top of the $331,000 the legislature gave last month, and on top of the $250,000 we gave before that. But in direct support for the over 6 years, which has helped it make it the #1 land bank, I feel, in the state of New York. That's the number I want, just to let you know back there. But one of the things I just wanted to bring to the attention, being one of the most successful land banks, over 300 properties returned to the tax rolls. and $17.6 million in assessed value of tax foreclosed realty property since the land bank was formed. I mean, think of them numbers. And again, it's because of the partnership with the Albany County Legislature and my office that makes it so successful and continue to stand behind the land bank, because if we didn't, it would fold and wouldn't make it, because the money they got from the Attorney General was a one-shot, and that makes it difficult. The other thing I take pride in is the nursing home. You know, it's been a debate when I became county executive in 2012, and we were losing money, and I said it was $1 million a month. And it really was 1.6 million, but no one really understands 1.6 million. But that was legacy cost, 0.6. And I knew people wouldn't understand legacy costs. Regardless, if we transferred the nursing home or we did whatever, we still got to pay that 0.6. So basically, it's been $1 million of the taxpayers' money up there. And we came up with a partnership when Frank was the majority leader and Sean Ward, and we came up with an agreement with the legislature that was there to make it work, to go forward, to roll up our sleeves and to really take care of that senior population that is an obligation of this county. But to beautify the place so it is a home. So when people go there, they feel like they're home. They got the best quality care. So I never really bring that up because the care has always been good. But the home itself has been a disgrace. And the fact that when we get done with this new model, the nursing home, is going to be, people are going to be knocking on doors. Your constituents are going to be calling you to say, hey, please get me in, please get me in. You know, it's going to be beautiful. And when people visit their loved ones, they're going to feel good when they leave, knowing that they're in a safe environment, but a place that their loved ones are calling home in their final stage of their life. But I bring it all up because this year's budget for the nursing home is $2.1 million. 2.1. And if you go back to the 19 or $20 million we were spending, to have it down to 2.1, take out the legacy on the 12 million, we're getting there. And we're going in the direction, last year was 3 million, this year is 2.1. Once we fill them 250 beds, that we'll start making a profit, meaning that we can invest back in the nursing home or bring it back for other programs that we can run out there. And I look forward to that day 2 or 3 years from now to sit here in front of the legislature and everyone else and saying, we actually made $1 million profit off our nursing home. And that's the way we're going. Again, in a partnership, working with the legislature and my office, making this a reality for our seniors. So I do want to give you applaud on that. Thank you. The budget breaks down 80%, like I was saying, is unfunded, and out of that 60-something. So we can't control it. We just have to make it work to go forward. The 20% we can control, and that's what we have to stay within. The other thing is we have 18 unions in this county, 18. We negotiated 14 out of 15 last year in a short period of time, and we have pretty much every union contract settled except one. And everyone got a 2% raise across the board, union and non-union. And I thought that was important to really recognize all the workers and the good work that everyone's doing. So again, but there's a cost going forward with that. So I do want to thank all the unions and the non-union workers for the work that they do day in and day out here in the county, because again, we can highlight things, we can direct programs to happen, but not without working in a partnership, it doesn't happen. So I do want to thank them. The reality is continue to look at our space, the way we do things in the county. I want to thank Sheriff Apple. Again, when we came into me about the 911 system, that he had to change it, and it's been an argument. And I said this earlier, and I said, the funny thing is, he's been at the table on many occasions with the budget and other things, but we could have built a $30 million facility like they just did up in Saratoga, and being accountable to the people, but needing the service, what he needs, we came up with a great alternative, and I want to thank you for that. And, again, it's working together and to make things happen. I take a lot of pride in this budget because, again, there's no gimmicks. There's no one-shots. Again, property tax is not going up. I hope it's going to be a boring budget cycle for the legislature. No offense. I hope it, we've given one of the best budgets I feel that I have delivered as county executive. So I do look forward to working with the legislature on the budget process. I do look forward to working with you on any questions that you may have. But again, I think you're going to find it very boring because we are not raising taxes, and certain people get tax breaks, and things are great, and there's no one-shots. And our outlook from the controller's office, our investment policies and everything else have been just unbelievable, knock on wood. Things been working out. So I do want to thank everyone for coming here today. And again, I look forward to the discussions for the '29 budget.